welcome to another weekly GameDev Log. So I've got a request for you all this week. I've been struggling to come with a name for the game, so if you've got any ideas, just put them in the comments below. Thanks. Right, now let's move on to day one. This first stream was focused on proving quality. I started by attempting to prove the collision detection of the blade with the ingredients. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to get it working, so I moved on to a different task rather than getting stuck like I have previously. I began working on a small refactoring task. Until now I had been using references in my main level control component, but it was quite quickly getting out of hand, so I decided to switch to use actions, which is a form of the subscriber pattern. This meant components that were interested in game state, so for example when the level became active, it started or it ended, these components could then be notified and they could contain their own logic. One example of this is with the touch input. The blade swipe would only become enabled once you had pressed the start button. It would then deactivate when the level ended. This type of decoupling allows for better code reuse, so I could reuse these components in another project. Moving on to day 2, I wanted to work on some more game mechanics, so I started implementing a level countdown. This means you can now have a time limit to reach the target colour, so you can no longer just keep going around the colour spectrum until you've got enough points to get 3 stars for the level. You are now confined by time as well. After this, I had another attempt at fixing the ingredient cut functionality. I managed to use some debug ray traces to visualize my raycast, and the collision detection is now much more consistent. After giving the game to a few people to playtest, it was quite obvious that it wasn't really clear how to start the game, so I decided to add a little visual indicator on the cooking table to accentuate that that's the area you need to press to start the level. The final thing I added on day 3 was just some small shadows around the bottom of the chairs and the background image of the scene. Day 4 I started by fixing a bug I was having on mobile, where the blade swipes were being affected by the touch on the cooking table. I then moved on to work on the multi-level progress functionality. Currently there was no way to track progress across multiple levels, so I decided I would keep a record of the number of stars that you had earned for a particular level. I started by adding a visual indicator on the level select screen, which was just 3 stars which would light up depending on what you scored on that level. The only problem with this is that if you closed down the game and restarted it, then you would lose all the progress for all the levels. This is because there was actually no way to persist that data across invocations of the game. To resolve this, I need to add some sort of saving and loading functionality, where I take that star data and essentially write it out to a file, and then read that file when I load the game back up again. Start this up. Oh, look at that. Hey! Alright, awesome. I've been really happy with the progress this week. The loading and saving functionality in particular has been a huge milestone. If you want to see more from me, come subscribe to me on YouTube or come join me on Twitch. Finally, if you come up for a name for the game, put it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. Bye now.